You think $1 million is enough to retire? Most people might think that number is high, but it's really not. That number might not be enough. A lot may actually underestimate how much you actually need. And the last thing you want to do is get caught with your pants down and out of money when you're older. So let's break down these real numbers and let's make sure that we don't get caught off guard. Let's get right into it. Go right into this video here. I'm going to show you guys a flashpoint PowerPoint here on how much you really need to retire. It's either we work or to retire. We want to get out of work as soon as possible so we can go live that lavish lifestyle, go golfing, go fishing, and do whatever we want whenever we want. So there's three common retirement myths. I think that myth number one, $1 million is enough. This sounds really good, but inflation and lifestyle changes make it really risky. We know that things are getting more expensive. $1 million sounds like a lot, but it might actually not be. Myth number two, Social Security will cover me. It's uncertain and it's usually not enough to make a comfortable lifestyle for ourselves. We know that today's government, we can't really trust if Social Security might be there at the end of the years. So that could be another myth. Oops. Now, myth number three, I can just work longer. There's a lot of health issues and a lot of job losses that can come into our lives, then force us into early retirement. We might not be able to do jobs and physically be able to, mentally be able to take on these jobs. So these are just some common retirement myths that we see along our lives. So how much do you really need? I'm going to go into 4 different topics here and break these down. We're going to go into the 25% rule, the inflation factors, healthcare costs, and longevity risks. So the 25% rule. Now, there's this thing called the 25% rule where you're able to take your expected annual expenses and multiply that by 3. So the idea here is the lifestyle that I want, I'm going to take that number and that amount I'm going to spend per year. So if I want a $50,000 lifestyle in retirement, then I'm going to need a portfolio of about $1,250,000. And we can see that it only goes up with the amount of lifestyle that we want. So you take your current lifestyle today and you multiply that by 25, and then you'll get that number that you need to have in a portfolio by the time that you retire. And you think about it, we're going to be spending a lot in retirement, but I mean, it kind of depends on your lifestyle, right? If you think that you're going to have to spend a nastier, greater lifestyle when you guys are in retirement, then max out those numbers. I mean, you want to aim high when you're young, right? So get those numbers rolling and we'll see like how strong compound interest is later. And I'll show you that, just how strong that is. An inflation factor. We know that $50,000 today could potentially be $90,000 or more in 30 years. And you really need to plan for these future costs. We can see that over time, a coffee has gone from 25 cents in 1970s over $3 in today's world. That's on a percentage gain, huge, immense. And by the time that we get to our age of 65 and a half years old, 65 years old, things are going to be really expensive. So take into account some inflation factors and inflation costs. Healthcare costs. Now, the average for a retired couple, they spend about $300,000 on healthcare alone. That is immense. We really don't consider how much health is going to impact us later down the line and how much those are going to cost us. So these are just unexpected things. We might need an open heart surgery, and that's going to cost thousands, tens of thousands of dollars that we would not expect. So just be prepared to spend a lot of healthcare as you get into your retirement years. Longevity risk. You might not be around 30 plus years in retirement. Do you really have enough? Do you have enough money? Do you have enough time? And yeah, just longevity risk. So, in order to hit our retirement goals, we're going to do these 4 things. We're going to start investing early. We're going to max out tax advantage accounts. We're going to diversify some income streams. And lastly, we're going to keep our lifestyle inflation in check. Now, investing early, you can really see that the compound interest is going to be the best wonder of the world, like Albert Einstein says. So here's an example of investing $500 a month from the age 25 to 35 years old. Now, we're going to take into the account that we're going to retire at 65 years old. So 40 years from now, if you're age 25 and you invest $500 a month at a 10% rate of return, you will have $2.6 million in the bank. And that number is immense. You compare that to the other flip side here of investing 10 years later at 35 years old with 30 years of compounding, you're only at $980,000. That is about $1.6 million in difference by you just waiting 10 years to not invest. You can see that it's so strong of how much you can save and how much you can earn in your early years of investing. Those decisions today cost us thousands and millions of dollars down the line. Next, we're going to max out these tax advantage accounts. We're going to look into our Roth 401k, our 401ks, our Roth IRAs, and our HSAs. Now, the way that these kind of work is, we're going to get taxed on some things, and we're going to get taxed on not that many things. We want to make sure that the amount that we pay in taxes is going to be as little as we can. So if we look at an HSA, when you put money in, that HSA money is not taxed. And if you use that money for medical equipment or medical expenses, that money will not be taxed. But if you do need to use that money and pull it out for yourself and buy a nice car or something, that money will be taxed. Take into account those things when having an HSA. So in terms of our 401ks and IRAs, the money that you put in, let's say it's a traditional 401k, that money will not be taxed. But when you do take that money out, it will be taxed. So all that money that grows and grows and grows to all that money, when we retire, we will need to pay taxes on that growth. And unless we have a Roth IRA or a Roth 401k. So that's this last option here. Now, when you put your money into the Roth, that money is taxed at your current tax rate. But you do have the advantage, which is very, very strong, to have that money grow for you years and years and years. And when you are able to have that $2.6 million portfolio that we saw earlier, you can take that money out tax-free at 65 years old. Now, that is the power of a Roth IRA or Roth 401k. These help you not pay as much taxes to the government later on, and you are able to keep that money back in your pocket. It's so strong. Next, we're going to try to diversify our income streams. We're going to look at rental properties, side hustles, passive income. You see this guy right here pulling these levers? You really want to have as many levers into your pocket as possible, because let's say you lose a job. Then you're going to have to, find another job. And most people only have that one job to support their lifestyle. Once the faucet is cut off, the wells run dry. We really want to make sure that we're able to bring in some money throughout any projects or any other side hustles that we can do here to diversify our income. And in case of an emergency, we're able to replenish our investing, replenish our spending. Next, we're going to keep our lifestyle inflation in check. You really want to avoid those unnecessary spending as your income grows. It's really common to see us spend more whenever we make more, because it just makes sense, right? Like, you're in a different lifestyle place, you're in a different mental capacity to take on different things, and you feel that you deserve more things as you earn more. I'm an advocate for selling to yourself that, hey, I did a good job and I want to celebrate for myself and the others around me and the people that I love. However, there becomes a fine line where that becomes too much. When you're erratically spending because you earn more, that's where you see a lot of people that win the lottery go broke, or celebrities that just go broke because they spend and spend and spend. Now, make sure that you just don't fall a prey into this lifestyle creep or lifestyle inflation. All right, that's pretty much everything I have for you today. And most people don't realize that they'll need more than they think. Just make sure that you start preparing earlier. And the easier that you, or I guess the earlier that you start saving and investing and making this into a reality to yourself and telling yourself that you can retire, that you can put away money, that you can invest, that you can get these other streams of income, it's going to get easier. Now, thank you guys so much for watching today's video. I hope you guys learned one thing or two. And I'm personally excited for this journey. Thank you guys so much for watching. Peace out.